She taunted me, saying, "Go ahead, call the police. They'll side with me, not you." This was after she'd hurled my belongings onto the street and clawed my face in front of her friends. I stayed quiet, not responding. But when the officers arrived, one of them looked at me and said, "Don't worry, little brother, we've got this under control." It was a rainy Saturday afternoon, and I stood on my own front yard, watching my possessions tumble from a second-story window. My wife, Jenna, was upstairs, her face contorted with a fury I'd never witnessed, tossing out my clothes, books, and even my laptop into the soggy grass. Her two closest friends stood on the porch, spectating as if it were a performance, occasionally egging her on. The trigger for this outburst: I'd worked an unavoidable overtime shift at the fire station and missed a dinner she'd planned. That was all it took. I'd just gotten home moments earlier. When I tried to walk past her to enter my own house, she lunged, her nails leaving 4 stinging gashes across my cheek. The shock hurt more than the scratches themselves. Then, backed by her friends, she stared at me with a smug, venomous triumph. "What now, Mike?" she sneered. "Call the cops, I dare you. Who do you think they'll believe? Me, the woman you just tried to attack in your own home? Or you?" She gestured at the scene. My belongings scattered across the lawn, the scratches on my face, her friends ready to back her story. She'd crafted a perfect tale where she was the victim. I stood there, rain soaking my hair, staring at the woman I'd married 2 years ago. In that moment, I realized I didn't know her at all. I said nothing. Instead, I reached for my phone. Her smug grin widened, thinking she had me trapped. She thought I was weak, predictable, and isolated. She was wrong on every count. I didn't call 911. I sent a brief, coded message to my older brother. The brother she barely knew about, the one she thought I hadn't spoken to in over a decade. The brother she didn't know was a city police sergeant whose shift had just begun 20 minutes ago. "My name's Mike. I'm 36, a firefighter. My job is to bring calm to chaos. Jenna, my wife, is 33. She used to be a paralegal and she was skilled at it. When we met, her passion for justice drew me in. She volunteered at a women's advocacy group, always talking about uplifting the powerless. I thought we shared the same values. After we married, she moved into my house, which I'd bought with a small inheritance from my father. She decided the legal field was too exhausting and quit to become a women's life coach. I supported her fully. I paid for her certifications, workshops, website, everything. I covered the mortgage and bills so she could focus on her business without stress. Now I see her passion wasn't about empowering others, it was about empowering herself at my cost. My family history is messy. My dad was a firefighter, too. He died in a warehouse blaze when I was 19. His death broke our family. My older brother, Kevin, already a rookie cop, took it hardest. We had a fierce argument months after the funeral when I said I was joining the fire academy. He pleaded with me not to, terrified of losing me like we lost Dad. I was stubborn, insisting it was my life, my decision. That fight created a 15-year rift between us. We lived in different states, built separate lives, and didn't speak. Jenna knew the basic version of this story, that I had an estranged brother. She saw it as a vulnerability, proof I was alone with no support. It made me an easier mark. What she didn't know was that Kevin had transferred back to our city 6 months ago. He reached out. It was awkward at first, but we met for a drink. We talked for hours. Older and hopefully wiser, we both admitted our mistakes. That one drink became a weekly dinner. We were rebuilding our bond bit by bit. It was the best thing in my life in years. I never told Jenna. My connection with Kevin felt personal, sacred, the one part of my life untouched by her growing demands and criticisms. My marriage was starting to feel empty, and my renewed relationship with my brother was the only thing that felt real. Jenna's coaching business became a stage for her grievances. She began belittling me, mocking my job. My firefighter friends were crude. My life was basic. She and her friends, Amy and Lisa, would have hushed conversations on the patio that stopped when I appeared. I knew something was off, but not how bad it was until that day. The scene on the lawn felt orchestrated. The fight over the missed dinner was just a pretext, not the cause. She wanted this showdown. She wanted to frame herself as the victim and me as the aggressor. Her paralegal experience and advocacy work taught her how to game the system. She knew the right words, the right emotions to fake. She was certain any cop who arrived would see a distraught woman, a large man with scratches on his face, and side with her. So I stood there silent and texted Kevin. Code 10 to 34, my address, come now. It was our old childhood code from playing cops and robbers. It meant things were dire. It meant I needed my big brother. Sirens started faintly in the distance, growing louder. Jenna's smirk stayed firm. She folded her arms, awaiting her triumph. Update 1. The police arrived, turning the rainy afternoon into a spectacle with flashing red and blue lights. Thank you to everyone who's offered support. It's been a wild 24 hours. Jenna launched into her act. Tears flowed instantly. She pointed at me, trembling. He did this. He lost it. He threw me out and attacked me when I tried to get my stuff. Her friends, Amy and Lisa, chimed in, backing her with a seamless web of lies. We saw it all. He just snapped. 4 officers approached, their expressions neutral but wary. They saw what Jenna intended. My belongings strewn across the lawn, me standing grimly with fresh scratches, and 3 women on the porch, one performing a masterful display of distress. Then the second patrol car's door opened, and my brother stepped out. Sergeant Kevin Miller, in jeans and a department jacket, exuded authority that silenced the chaos. He walked past his officers, his eyes scanning the scene before settling on me. He didn't smile. His gaze lingered on my scratched cheek, then on my muddy possessions. His jaw tightened. He stopped in front of me, ignoring Jenna and her friends. For the first time in 15 years, I saw the protective big brother who used to scare off my bullies. He placed a hand on my shoulder and spoke quietly, just for me. Don't worry, little brother, we'll sort this out. He turned to his officers, his voice now sharp and commanding. Everyone, activate your body cams. Davis, Martinez, take statements from the women on the porch. Separate them. Get every detail. I'll handle Mr. Miller's statement. The situation shifted instantly. Jenna's confidence wavered. She hadn't expected this. She didn't know Kevin, but she could tell the lead officer was treating me with respect. Officer Davis, a sharp woman in her 30s, approached me. Sir, I need your account of what happened. Kevin raised a hand. I've got this, Davis. Focus on them. He led me away from the house, positioning himself to block Jenna's view, creating a shield. All right, Mike, he said, his voice soft again. Tell me everything. I explained it all, the dinner argument, how it felt staged, her throwing my things and scratching me when I tried to enter my home. I mentioned her dare, her certainty the police would believe her. As I spoke, I overheard Officer Davis and her partner questioning the women. Jenna's story was dramatic. She claimed I had a drinking issue, flew into a jealous rage, threw her out, and attacked her. Amy and Lisa corroborated every detail, adding their own embellishments. When I finished, Kevin nodded, recording my statement on a small device. All right, he said, stay here. He conferred quietly with his partner. Then he approached the porch. Ma'am, he said to Jenna, his tone calm and professional. I need to confirm your statement. You're claiming your husband assaulted you and you scratched him in self-defense, correct? Yes, Jenna sobbed. He's violent and controlling. My friends saw it all. Kevin glanced at Amy and Lisa. And you both saw your friend's husband attack her. They nodded eagerly. All right, Kevin said. He pulled out his phone. I have one piece of evidence for you to see. He showed them a video. It was from the security camera above my front door, installed a year ago. The footage was clear. Jenna screaming, tossing my belongings, me approaching calmly, and her lunging at me, unprovoked, clawing my face. Silence fell. The only sound was the rain on the gutters. Jenna's face paled. Her friends looked ill. Kevin pocketed his phone. That, he said coldly, is what really happened. Officer Davis, arrest Miss Miller for domestic assault, and bring her 2 friends to the station for questioning about filing a false report. Lying to police is a felony here. The scene exploded. Jenna screamed that I'd framed her, that the video was fake. Amy and Lisa babbled, trying to retract their statements, claiming fear and confusion. But their lies were caught on body cams. As Officer Davis cuffed Jenna, she finally studied Kevin, the family resemblance dawning on her. Who are you? She stammered. Kevin met her gaze, his face unreadable. I'm his brother. I watched them lead her to the patrol car, her face pressed against the window, glaring at me with raw hatred. I didn't feel joy, just a deep, hollow void. Kevin returned. You're not staying here tonight. Come with me. I slept on his couch. We didn't talk much at first. He cooked us steak, and late that night we opened up. About our dad, our stupid fight, everything. For the first time in years, I wasn't alone. The fire in my life still burned, but I felt strong enough to extinguish it. The last 2 weeks have been like stepping out of a smoke-filled room into fresh air. The legal process is progressing, and I'm rebuilding my life. Thank you for the support. Jenna was released on bail, paid by her parents. She faces a serious domestic assault charge. With the video and body cam evidence, her case is hopeless. Her friends, Amy and Lisa, face charges for false reporting. They quickly turned on Jenna, claiming she coerced them. Their friendship was as fake as their statements. Jenna's life has collapsed. The women's advocacy group banned her, unwilling to touch the scandal of a volunteer faking abuse. Her coaching business is gone, her name toxic in her former circles. I filed for divorce immediately. My lawyer says it'll be straightforward. The marriage was brief, the house is mine, and her assault provides clear grounds for a fault-based divorce. She'll leave with nothing but her legal debts. The best outcome has been reconnecting with Kevin. That first week at his place felt like no time had passed. We slipped back into brotherhood, watching terrible movies, cooking, being there. He admitted he disliked Jenna from our wedding, sensing her victim mentality, seeing me as a resource, not a partner. He was right. I just wasn't ready to see it. Kevin dug deeper, using his resources. Jenna had a history. A sealed juvenile record showed she accused an ex-boyfriend of assault after a breakup. The charges were dropped, but the pattern was clear. This wasn't a mistake. It was her strategy. Last weekend, Kevin, some firefighter friends, and I cleared out my house. We packed Jenna's things into storage. My lawyer sent her the key with a 30-day notice to collect them. While cleaning the lawn, a friend found my dad's framed photo, face down in the mud, glass shattered. That broke me. The emptiness turned to cold fury. She hadn't just attacked me, she'd defiled my father's memory. I carefully removed the photo and ordered a new oak frame. It's back on my nightstand. The house feels like mine again. Final update, 3 months later. The divorce is finalized. The criminal case is over. My life is restored. Jenna's trial was brief. With undeniable video evidence, she pleaded no contest, receiving 2 years probation, a steep fine, and mandatory therapy for a year. Her friends got lesser charges, but their reputations are destroyed. Jenna's life is a shadow. Her parents pay her rent for a small apartment. She has no job, no friends, and a permanent criminal record. The woman who thought she could manipulate the world is now powerless. But this story isn't about her fall, it's about what I've rebuilt. My bond with Kevin is stronger than ever. We're not just brothers, we're family. We see each other often, planning a fishing trip to the lake our dad took us to. 2 weeks ago, on the anniversary of Dad's death, we visited his grave together for the first time in 15 years. At his headstone, Kevin put his arm around me. "Dad would be proud, Mike," he said. "You stayed calm, didn't sink to her level. You handled it like a man." That meant everything. The revenge wasn't her arrest or the divorce. It's my life now, peaceful, honest, and full of the family she thought I lacked. She tried to destroy me, but I'm a firefighter. I walked through flames and emerged stronger. She thought the police would believe her. In the end, the only one who needed to believe me was my brother, and he was there. That's what mattered.